No, you're not invited.
No, I wasn't trying that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 13th Annual Festival of Flowers. My name is Mark Peterson, and I work for SAWS, and we are a co-sponsor to this wonderful program. Everyone having a good time today? Yes. Wonderful. Now I have to look on this. What do we have here? Forward, backwards?
Yeah.
What? No, it's the light.
I think it's on the, you hit it on the right. There go the little arrows.
It's, you hold it like that, and then you just press it forward, yeah.
I said, did it have a little, or did it have a little light, a little laser to it? No. Last night at about 9:30, I'm going, I wonder if I have a light to work with tomorrow. My topic of today, as well as the topic throughout the program, or the Festival of Flowers, is a theme with running, is talking about Spanish courtyards, courtyards in general. Now, with SAWS involved, I had to put in here colorful Spanish courtyards that conserve water, or colorful conserving courtyards. So that's what we want to talk about today. Someone asked me this morning, what gives you the authority to talk about this? And I said, let's see, my boss has been to Italy 5 times, so she has a lot of the pictures here. And 2, I read it extensively, and I travel extensively. I worked in Puerto Rico for a while, and I've been to Mexico a couple of times. So, and I was a 5th and 6th century historian major, so I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. What I do in SAWS is I'm the expert on outdoor conservation, landscape conservation. So that's what I do. So a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. Oops, a little bit backwards. This is kind of our outline for today. We're going to talk a little bit about history, planning elements, pests, because there are pests in a courtyard situation that you need to know about. And then also water containers and water conserving devices, products. We'll talk a little bit about those because this is SAWS conservation. All right, a little bit about the history. We're going to talk a little bit about these 3 groups. First, Romans. Romans provided the model for the Spanish courtyard with their atrium. Romans were in the Iberian Peninsula from the 2nd century BC all the way up to the 7th century. The Moors came in after the 8th century and provided the same used the same style of architecture, but also added live water. And they also provided brand new plants. And I'm going to tell you some of those in case you didn't know. Spinach, they introduced spinach. Artichokes, hard wheat, durum wheat, citrus plants, watermelons. All these were introduced. Rice, introduced sugarcane. All these were introduced by the Moors. And then later on, the medieval monasteries, the monks, they kept the same format, but emphasized medicinal plants as well as flowers. Some of the medicinal plants can be found in one of my great books here that I have. No one can have this. This is my copy, personal copy. Is Brother Cadfael. Does anyone know who Brother Cadfael is? Brother Cadfael Mysteries? Anyone? Anyone? I have the complete set. Herb Garden, which talks all about what the monks used during the Middle Ages in their gardens, particularly medicinal herbs. So those were the 3 influences on the Spanish courtyard. Now, I put this slide in here. Is this a Spanish courtyard? It has many of the same elements that a Spanish courtyard has. And we're going to talk about those design elements here shortly. But I put this in here because it reminds me of a Victorian age solarium, where the style was, yes, it was a solarium in the old sense, but they crammed it with every known plant, vegetation, every tchotchke from the British Empire, and they called that design. I have the same feeling on this. I look at this and I go, oh my goodness, can we just get rid of some of these plants? All right, so the design elements we're going to talk about today. First one, no lawn. Very important. We like this from a SAWS conservation standpoint. Remember, lawns use about twice as much water than anything else. Expansive hardscape, again, we like this. Fountains, but they're an important design element in the Spanish courtyard. And then container plants. Colors and fragrance, very, very important in the Spanish courtyard. Arbors, corridors, and then finally alfresco living, which is very popular now, has been very popular in the past 5-6 years in many of the new homes. All right, this is the most important slide you can think about or see today, is orientation. What do I mean by orientation? Following the sun. Where is the sun? Where is the shade? There are many plants that can only do well in sun, and there are many plants, I want to talk about those, that only do well in shade. You have to know where the sun is at all times. All right, talk about the first element. No lawn. Yes, this is a bit hyperbolic, a little extreme, but this is what we're talking about. No lawn. You hardly ever see a lawn in a Spanish courtyard. If you do see a lawn, it is of a certain type of grass. Normally down here, we're using the zoysia on that. Expansive hardscape. Almost all hardscape. The hardscape, when we talk about hardscape, we're talking about an impervious material like stone, flagstone, brick, pavers, mush granite, decomposed granite. That's what we're talking about when we talk about expansive hardscape. Limited planting areas. Now the water feature leads right in the next one. You always see some type of water feature in a, quote, Spanish garden or Spanish courtyard. Now you can use the old-fashioned six-sided fountain that we see on the left. This is from a very prominent family's backyard. Another one is kind of mimicking the Moorish live water feature. Water is moving through. They're actually doing a little bit of both. They're having a static water up above, and then we have free-flowing water, and that is returned back and forth on the lower part of that linear water feature. Or you can use something more modern. So we have a water feature on the left-hand side that's mimicking the old Moorish type of linear live water, moving back and forth. Or you can use some of the newer fountains, the rocks, live water